Alright then, let's do a video. The thing with having a mustache like this, if you ride in the wind for too long, it basically says, nah mate, I ain't doing it. Right, so this is a little bit of a creative one. I've had these cranks knocking around for a little while now. When I first built up the RockHopper, if you haven't seen that video, it's linked here. Or here, or below, it's linked somewhere. The cranks I used, these ones, these were always going to be temporary. They were, these were always temporary. I had them knocking around. I thought they might look kind of cool. The bash guard, everybody was like, drop the bash guard. And I agreed. I didn't like them that much. So I was shopping around for a while trying to find something interesting, and I found these specialised cranks. They're a 2x, they're silver, and they're pretty dope. But they could be different. So if you look at the rest of the hardware on the RockHopper, it was all like, it's got a black seat post, the handlebars are black, the stem's black, like the pedals are black, like everything was black. So like the silvery, chromy cranks, just in my mind, were didn't like them. So some videos back, you may have seen the Back to the Future bike that I built for my dad. That bike, I got the idea from Old Shovel. He used, I can't remember what he called it now. Was it the Street Fighter he made? That he used the Super Blue. And he basically changed the colour of the bike without having to like paint it, and I always thought that was quite cool, so I did the same thing with the Back to the Future bike and used it to do the decals. By the way, it's the 5th of November when I'm recording this, and you're probably going to hear fireworks throughout. I don't know if you can hear that now, so just try to ignore that. So anyway, after a little bit of browsing the internet, I discovered that they actually do aluminium black, which is this one, which is really dirty. Focus, there he is. Which turns out, apparently, I found since some of you guys let me know on Instagram, that Old Shovel also used that on some cranks, which I didn't realise. And if I'd seen his video first, I probably wouldn't bother doing this. But we'll get to that. My master plan was essentially, can you change the colour of the cranks, in this case to black, without having to like paint them and kind of lacquer and primer and all that stuff? Could you just do it quite simply by just, you know, using these chemicals to react with the metal? And that's what I set out to do, and that's what we're going to do now. If you follow me on Instagram, and from the tone of my voice right now, you know that this it's not the best thing to do, and stick around to the end because I want to answer a few questions that I had on Instagram and talk about it in more detail. But it was fun, and you're here now, so we might as well watch it together, and you can see what I did. That was a weird intro. Enjoy. So these are my specialised cranks. I got them on eBay. I want to say I spent about £20 on them. The 2x aluminium crank. And yeah, we need to change them up. We made potions in this pumpkin. It was sick. So this is the Super Blue by Birchwood Casey. I've used it before, like I mentioned before, and it is really, really easy to use. This is its little brother, Aluminium Black, that I haven't used up until this point. They're quite expensive, they're about £18 a bottle, but yeah, they do some cool things. The cranks themselves have like a lacquer on them, so I had to sand them back. You can see that I started doing it by hand on the back, which was just taking forever. So I was like, yeah, nah, and I got the sander out. For the people that are wondering, I think I was using 180 and it worked pretty well. It took some time, but I didn't want to use anything too coarse. Once I had finished, with any water sander, the actual scratches were all kind of like all over the place, a bit random. So I wanted to kind of neaten them up. So I used the same pads, but just with my hand, and as you can see, just kind of sanded it all in one direction, which meant all the scratches were a little bit more uniform at least. Doesn't take a lot of time to do, but it really makes a difference. So now on to the actual aluminium black itself. I used a Q-tip to kind of apply it, so I just dipped it in the bottle and then kind of rubbed it onto the cranks. Someone in my comments on Instagram suggested using like a cotton wool ball instead, and they asked actually whether I think that would make it easier. 100% yes. As you can see, it kind of goes on but not very evenly. I had to go over it so many times, and actually I think if I was using the cotton wool ball, it probably would have made a difference. It probably would have made it a lot easier to do. It took me quite a long time to get to this stage, and it still wasn't really coating very well. So I did something a little bit drastic and kind of poured a little bit onto it and then kind of kept going. This definitely made a difference. It made it a little bit easier, but it's drastic. It got to the point where I was kind of wondering whether I even should be doing this anymore, but I started using my hands, or at least with the glove, and rubbing it in like that. A little bit of time off camera, and you can see it's really starting to kind of take. But this took maybe 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour maybe. It was a long time. I was out there for a long time doing this. And then I realised I still had the second one to do at this point, which was annoying. The second one, for whatever reason, it didn't take as well, and took the same amount of time to get similar results. The back of the crank, however, I couldn't get any sanding or sandpaper in there to kind of get it sanded so I can use it there as well. So I just put a bit of black paint just on the back. We'll come back to painting cranks in a little while, because perhaps that would have been a better thing to do. But anyway, what I did want to do was kind of age the cranks a little bit. Some of my favourite cranks I have are black, and they've got the scuff marks all over them. Whatever Bikes mentioned on Instagram this morning about the fact that it probably would have just done that itself after a little while anyway, but which is a fair point. But I kind of wanted to kind of give it that kind of custom look that I've kind of done it myself, and I think it looks sick. So next I needed some hardware. The chain ring I actually got from Medium. I've been eyeing these chain rings up for a long time, and finally pulled the trigger on it recently. Medium actually have been kind enough to give me a discount code to give to you guys, so hang out to the end and I'll share that with you. But I'm super impressed with these chain rings. They're super nice. I also got some hardware from them as well, some gold little caps to put on the end of the cranks, which I think look really cool, and some gold bolts as well. I imagine you're ready for the results. Well now, that was a fun experiment, but there's a few things that I want to talk about before we end the video. Firstly, and you may not be able to see this very well. There's a couple of people commented on one of the first posts I did about this, first mentioning about Old Shovel, and the fact that he basically used the aluminium black to do some decals, some logos on cranks, and it basically just rubbed off. I've not used the cranks yet. I put them on a bike, which we'll talk about more in a different video, so I'm going back. We're not talking about the bike yet. We're still on the cranks. But you can kind of see, like in this area here, where it's just starting to get all flaky and the coverage has gone a bit weird. That's essentially where it's rubbing off and not sticking. I've not finished with this yet. Essentially, I want to kind of give it a little bit of another go. I want to lacquer it, try and protect it to stop it from coming off. But right now, you've got the kind of scuff marks that I've made. The rest of it's going to look exactly the same after a ride or two. So did it work? No, not really. Toasty Rides actually commented on Instagram saying sounds like painting it would be better, and yeah, he's right. I can't 100% advise you do this. It was fun. It's quite a cool effect, but the longevity of it, considering how much the bottles cost, it's not quite there. It's literally now all over my hands. With the explosion of retro bike builders, me included, there is also an explosion of different brands making cool bike components. One of those cool bike component guys are these guys, Medium. They're based in Paris in France, and they make some really sturdy, nice chain rings. They have a lot of other stuff as well, but I've not tried that stuff out, but I'm a big fan of the chain rings. We've been chatting on Instagram, and they actually wanted to give you guys a discount code. So if you want to purchase one of these or one of their other products on their site, if you use the code Second Life Bikes, and add some stickers to the cart, you get the sticker pack for free. They actually sent me some stickers. I don't know where they are. They're stuck on something, I imagine, and they're super cool. So yeah, if you in the market for a chainring or some other components, check them out and get some free stickers. But I'll put a link down in the description below to their website and a comment about the discount code. But yeah, if you're in the market, go and check them out. Cool, so that draws us to the end of another video. That was quite fun. I enjoyed doing a little experiment instead of something that I knew that was going to work. Hopefully that didn't annoy you guys, because I know previous videos when I've done stuff a little bit out there, people get annoyed that I should have done more research and measured things more. Maybe I'll let that go one day. Maybe I won't. But the next video is a RockHopper video. The RockHopper is just there behind me. I have just finished some upgrades on it. I'm going to do a whole video on that. Actually, tomorrow I'm going on a group ride with some cool 26-inch biker dudes. I'm taking it for a bit of a maiden voyage tomorrow, actually, with its new setup. It does involve this that I'll put on the screen right now. Pretty big spoiler. But yeah, I'm going to test this out and see what it's like, and if it is as good as it is on modern bikes that it is on our old retro bikes that we like riding. So yeah, that's that. If you enjoyed this video, maybe you'd like to subscribe, and if you would like to watch some more of these awesome videos, that one is brilliant. See ya.